Good afternoon, Whisperers, and welcome to another fabulous episode and season 3 of Whispers in a Bottle Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays. I am so excited to be back in here in our safe zone to bring another dynamic season episode conversation. You know, it is going to be packed. So I'm so excited to have you all here. And listen, I cannot wait. Please make sure you're interactive. Make sure you come in, enjoy the conversations with me. You know, I got to acclimate myself back into everything. So, look, you are listening to Whispers in a Bottle Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays. My name is Sonia LeRae. I am a lifestyle relationship counselor, fashion psychologist, educator, and motivational speaker, but most importantly, your grateful host to be back here in our safe zone. Oh my goodness. How have you all been? I mean, like, it seems like we have not been together forever. We can even say we haven't seen each other since last year. I know. It's so good to be here with everyone. Listen, it's so much going on. So make sure you click on that subscribe button. You like the episode, but most importantly, please share it because our community is about sharing and uplifting and upbuilding another. So I'm so grateful to have you all here. Don't forget, I also want you to join me over on my home channel at Blog Talk Radio at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for this same episode live though, but we have our cocktails and our mocktails over there. We have so much fun. And listen, if you haven't received your cocktail or mocktail, you're missing it. You are missing it because I have to tell you, our newsletter, the Whisperers Exchange, by far, my loves, let me tell you something. We have upped the game. You are missing so much yummy information in there. We even have a scrumptious corner now that literally you whisperers are sending us dynamic recipes for our other whisperers to try out. We have now our own area where we have featured whisperpreneurs, which is for you all. And listen, this very episode is being sponsored by one of our fabulous whisperpreneurs. Her name is TRINA RUIZ, and she has this dynamic business. She is a CBD coach. And so she's on wellness and everything that's holistic to your body. Oh my goodness. Don't worry. We're going to get into it. It's a live link even in the description box because she is giving you whisperers a great opportunity. She's giving you 10% off your full cart plus free shipping and handling. Okay, guys, if that doesn't excite you, I really don't know what will. So, I told you we are doing some dynamic things for this episode and beyond because, I always tell you all, I'm about empowering us. I want us to always be at a position of elevation and growth. So, even this year, I've launched something very new with the parent company, La Paz Image Consultants, that is the parent company of Whispers in a Bottle. We have a brand new journal that is going to be published, and it's a monthly journal that is going to help you to elevate your mindset. See, I am about really walking us into 2022 in dynamics because this year you can feel the energy. You can feel how dynamic it is. You can feel what we're about to go into. You can even feel everything that we have that's in store for you. Yes, Never So Good Vegan. Glad you can join us today. Let me tell you something. You all are going to get to know this woman too. That is, oh my goodness, she is brilliant. and it's holistic, it's healthy eating, clean eating, bringing you into 2022 in a dynamic way. So, like I told you, our first episode already is off to a big leap. I just love it. So, look. You know, I always have a purpose with everything we do. We come in here. I got to even try to slow myself down because I'm so excited. So, let me tell you what I was about to tell you about what we're launching with this brand new e journal. So, the e journal is called Shifting Mindsets, and it's elevating your mindset to do better, be better, and bring better forward for yourself. And it's really tapping into the essence of who you are or who you want to present yourself as. And so many times we don't work on YOU. You know, I'm a big advocate for us always working on ourselves, working on our mindset, that we are able to have that growth mindset. Remember, all of you who have been with me through all of 2020 coming into 2021, now we're into 2022. I told you we are on a mission of a growth mindset. And that is what is going to pivot us and drive us to success. So if we don't really tap into that, we don't really have anything. We don't have anything. Listen, I don't want to forget, got my Zoom room. The private Zoom room is back. This is our first private Zoom room of the new year. I want to give a shout out to you beautiful ones. It is at the Fly Dames. I love their name, by the way. The Fly Dames, they're out of Ohio. They are a book club and are focused on self help and motivational books. So you see, we're right in accord with each other. We're right together. So if you have a dynamic book club or you have a group that you're a part of, listen, you need to really get in touch with us so you can host your own group right inside of our private Zoom room. It is going to be exciting. We connect, we have great conversations. And listen, they get like a private session even, because 15 minutes before we go live here, we have a dynamic discussion. 15 minutes before we go live over on Blog Talk Radio, I touch back in, and then they have 35 minutes after the show to really pour in, get some clarity, ask their questions. We get to have the cocktail mocktail together. We have dynamics going on in here. So, you know, the first show, I had to bring it. I had to bring it because I want you all to be as motivated and as invigorated as I am. So, you know, I've been on a little hiatus, but hiatus doesn't look like hiatus for Sonia Lorraine, like it might look for you. So, I've been doing some dynamic things. I've been doing some speaking engagements. I've been tapping into the community and really working in depth with the community. You know that I'm over on Clubhouse and I'm bringing forth just as power and evoking conversations over there as I am over here. So I want you to join me. If you're not on Clubhouse, you don't know about Clubhouse, let me tell you something. It's an app. It's an Audible app at that. So you really get to resonate and connect with me at a different degree and a different level. So, you know, you all are live always in my chat box. You're always talking to me. You're always making sure that I'm just right on point with everything. Well, listen, when you come over to the round table of intention, you literally can come into my area, my club, and be able to really have some dynamic discussions and even pour in and let me hear your voice, ask your questions directly to me, ear to ear. We're doing this. And I mean, it is dynamic. And we are really in there. It's every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And so it is so great for us to be doing these things. I see all of my loves in the box. I'm just so excited for you all to be here. So, listen, I want you all to know that I want to talk to you about keeping yourselves motivated through the 2022. Wow, that's like a little catchy to say, isn't it? 2022 year. Because the new year is something that we all want to be doing, that we want to really make sure that we're manifesting the things that are going to elevate us. We want to be able to really tap into it. So, a lot of times when I speak on this, right, I hear people, they make their resolutions. And this is the other thing. I would encourage you not to even say a resolution, but to make an effort and a goal. Because, see, when we make goals, it's different and they're more obtainable and they're more for us to be able to really ascertain, wrap our minds around. So, I love to start every episode with a clear meaning and a direction. So, this is no different. So, welcome back into our safe zone. Welcome back into the dynamics of our discussions because we're really going to get into some talking right now. So, look, what we're going to discuss, and I want to make sure that you understand, is that we're going to speak on being motivated. So, I want to give you a clear definition of motivated. It means stimulate interest, enthusiasm, inspired, driven. Do you hear the power in that definition? Let me give it to you again. Stimulated interest, enthusiasm, inspired, or driven. Woo, right there. I'm telling you, if that didn't touch you and resonate and really vibrate within your ears, then guess what? You need to keep listening because I'm going to pour into this because I want you all to keep being motivated. I have my notes. I come ready. I come equipped for you all because I feel like anytime that we are really speaking of staying and maintaining that momentum, whisperers, motivation is influenced by how much you want the goal. Notice I said how much you want the goal. And so many people, they say, oh, I want to have success. I want to do things in a way that is going to bring forth better for myself, but they don't put forth the effort. Then on top of it, it's what will you gain? See, as people, we always want to make sure that we are getting something out of it. Because, you don't want to put effort into everything and be running after things. And it's just like chasing the wind. Can you ever catch the wind? Can you ever hold it into your hand? Can you put it into a bottle? No, you can't. Your personal expectations have to always be realistic expectations. Oh, wait a minute. Over here in my Zoom room, they said, oh my goodness. Yes, I don't think I'm going to do resolutions. I think you're right. I need to do goals. I need to be able to ascertain them. I need to make sure that they're real. So this is the thing. So how many of you all set a goal of, oh, I'm going to lose weight? Oh, that's a grand goal. It is. But guess what you did not do? You didn't put any clarity on it. You did not say, you know what? I'm going to lose 15 pounds by December. See, that date puts a definite in there. Then on top of it, it puts that projection of being able to really succeed at it. And that's what many people forget to do. So let me reiterate this, that our motivation is influenced by how much you want the goal, what you will regain or gain, and your personal expectations. And I guess you all may be wondering, like, well, Sonia, Well, why is motivation so important? Well, I'm going to tell you. You know, I'm going to tell you. You know, I always tell you why. See, motivation is important because it provides you with goals to work towards. It even sets a barrier for us. You know, a lot of times people, when they are not motivated, and why motivation is a thing that really that we all should have, it helps us to really resolve and solve problems. Because I have to tell you, you know that I'm a business owner. I run a very large agency. I have Whispers in a Bottle with it, which is this dynamic spot that we're in. But literally, if I wasn't motivated and if I wasn't focused on my goals, I couldn't be here every week at this time with you and to bring dynamic topics and discussions. But see, I'm motivated to do it. I'm driven to make sure that I'm bringing purpose and clarity into our spot. So it is everything in me, the energy that I bring forward, and everything that I tap into. My discussions from here over to Clubhouse, over to Instagram, to Facebook are all different. They're all different because I am focused on the purpose of why I want to be here. And that's true. And I thank you. Never So Vegan said, yes, that's what we need, more dynamics, discussions with meaningful outcome. Because that's true. Because if you're just having conversations, now let me just tell you all, there's times that we all just need those little conversations that we're laughing. It brings the oxytocin levels and everything is just in your brain. You're having fun. You're laughing. The energy is right. But there are conversations that we need to nurture the brain. Because if we're not having in depth conversations that are stimulating thoughts, guess what? We become lulled. We become so passive in our thinking. We can't really get the dynamics of what people are talking about at a higher decimal. And remember, I told you, you want to be with people that are vibrating at a higher decimal. See, sometimes when we don't have that, we become dulled and lulled in our senses. I don't want to be that way. I align myself with dynamic people that are doing dynamic things, that are energized and moving. They're business owners, they're creating constantly. And that is what energizes me and motivates me to keep moving. That literally, you all know, you were here with me back last year in March when I lost my mom. And I told you all, I felt like I didn't know if I could go on. I didn't know if I was going to be able to forward and to move forward in what I was doing. But the one thing that really tapped into that motivation was my mother. Because see, my mom used to always say to me, now listen, you have 15 minutes to, cry and, wallow in your sadness and everything. But after that 15 minutes, you got to get up and move. You got to show up and show out. And, I come from a background of entertainment. And it's always been her philosophy that, yes, we are human. We go through things. We are touched deeply by the ones that we love and they fall asleep in death. But one thing my mom always said, that I had a purpose and a mission. And I needed to be clear on what it was. And if I wasn't going to be serious with it, I did not need to step in the arena. So when I said I was ready and I stepped into the arena, I put that hat on and I said, it's time to go. So when I came back, I let you all know it's okay not to be okay, but it is not okay to lay down and wallow in it. And that's why we kept it moving. That's why you all became so important to me. And then I realized that dynamics and that motivation and that energy needed to keep pumping. And that's why we have to be motivated. That's why 2022 has got to be the year that you tap into self and you are driven to do better. You are driven to be better. And you are driven to elevate the ones that are around you, that love you, that tap into you, that give to you. You give back freely so they can be replenished and be able to move freely with you. See, whisperers, I have to tell you, we all know when we are set to do dynamic things. We may be a little nervous, or we could even be a little scared to try to really step off of that ledge. But what we have to do is to really sit in that moment. Remember, I told you all that I had the powerful discussion, and I told you we were going to do this season. And I was really going to tap into that power of pausing and why it's necessary that we do it. See, when we pause, it allows us to refocus, recenter, and be who we are in a place of quiet. It allows that brain to actually resync and reset so we can have clarity on where we're going. That's why being motivated is so important, and why we have to be purposeful with the things we're doing. See, I don't know how many of you handle certain things. You may have stress, you may have anxiety, you can even have pressure to be better because you want better for your family, for yourself. You may be a single parent. You may be even in a marriage that is loveless, or maybe that you all are just on different planes. But are you motivated to tap into how to make it better, or how you can make yourself better? Because sometimes that's what it takes. We have to be willing to be motivated to tap into a deeper quality of self. So, what are the benefits to being motivated? What is the benefit? So many times we go through these discussions and you hear dynamic speakers, but they never tell you what is a benefit for it. But I cover all my bases. I like to make sure that you're fully informed. So, finding ways to increase motivation is by far important because it allows us to change our behaviors. Yeah, it does. It really does. And even allows us to be creative. It allows us to grow in our interest. It develops talents that you may not even know that you really had. I have a friend that literally, when she tapped into this motivation and being driven on that way, she did not realize that she was a dynamic artist. Oh my goodness. If you could see, like, she does acrylic paint, she does acrylic painting. Her work is beautiful. It is so beautiful. And literally, she didn't realize she had this gift until the pandemic hit. And she's home. She was like, what is she going to do? And lo and behold, she was like, she just went to the art store, bought all this paint and canvases and everything. And lo and behold, with her being there and focusing in her intention and that motivation, it birthed such a beautiful gift. Benefits. The benefit of being motivated. And then on top of it, When we are motivated and the benefits of being motivated, we literally are visible in how we live our lives. You ever notice people that are like dynamic people that are very motivated? They live their life in a certain way. Um, I'm going to use a great example because you know I love to use him as my example anyway. I love to tell you all about Tyler Perry, and I always love to use him as an example. This was a man who was definitely motivated in his life. You know the story, I've told you all about it, that he came from a very poor background living in New Orleans, Louisiana. He found out he was an abusive family. His father, who we found out much later wasn't even his birth father, was abusive towards him. He had no mentors in his family. He had no one to really look up to. No one was pushing him. No one was telling him he was going to be dynamic. He was going to be great. He was going to succeed. Now, with all that being said, this became his motivation. His will became stronger than anything else. Why is that? He wanted better, and he knew he was destined for better, even though he came from such a terrible background, such meager, humble beginnings. But see, he was motivated and he saw that long picture. He didn't get caught on that tree. He saw that tree. He scaled that tree and he headed for the forest. And lo and behold, look at Tyler Perry. This man is dynamic. He is motivated. He is moving. He is delivering on that purpose, that drive, that everything, the gift that was placed in him by his Heavenly Father to try and do and succeed at. Because, see, when we're trying, we're just trying. We're like scratching at the surface. But when we're motivated, we dig down deep to bring out greatness. And that is what this discussion is about today. That is how we're placing things in this. It's the passions that, just like Never So Good Vegan, the passion that was placed in her for cooking, for teaching, and elevating people through healthy eating, what it does for your body, the purpose of it for your mind, your body, your bones, placed in and driven by. And she has her own challenges. Don't get me wrong, she has her own challenges. And her story is dynamic. But see, it's that drive and that motivation that keeps her going. See, Whisperers, I'm telling you, we can be the worst hindrances to ourselves by having that thing that every so often people do is called negative self-talk. And I did a dynamic discussion last year that if you don't remember it, go back and listen to the power of self-talk. So over this hiatus, I gave a dynamic discussion and I told everyone during that discussion about how negativity really starts and what it does and how it takes root. So I let them know that when we say things and we speak negativity out, we think we're speaking it out, right? But guess what? It's pollinating first in your ear, and it's really getting germinated perfectly. And as it pollinates and it's being germinated and it's getting to just get in that right position, it literally takes and it goes to the rich soil, which is your heart. And it goes into that soil, which is perfectly perfect, everything that's perfect for it to grow its roots. It starts to take root. And as it takes root, it starts to get a shoot on it. And as that shoot starts and it starts to really grow, guess where it blossoms? In the brain. So that is why when we're motivated and we start to really speak into ourselves, it uproots that and it takes those roots up and it rips it up. But then what happens is it goes back and it puts the rich nutrients that it needs to heal where those unfortunate negativities were and those burning words were. It heals. It allows rich things to blossom, nurturing things to take place, development of a better mindset, a better vision for ourselves. I'm going to take a little break right here because I want to give a shout out to our sponsor because I am so excited to have this beautiful company and this beautiful woman who is sponsoring this episode of Whispers in a Bottle. I'd like to thank our whisperpreneur. Her name is TRINA RUIZ. She's a part of HBS, the Healthy Body and Spirit Wellness Holistic Natural CBD products. HBS is your center for anti-aging, weight loss, detox, and infrared treatments. Make sure you go to follow them on Instagram at HBS4Vida. Once again, that's HBS4Vida. Or you can even go to their website, which is right on the screen. And don't forget, there's a live link in our description box. And they've done something fabulous for you whisperers. They've given you 10% off everything in your cart, plus free shipping and handling. How dynamic is that? So listen, make sure you go visit hbswellness.com and go over, get in touch with Trina on Instagram. She's at HBS4Vida. That's VIDA on Instagram. She is such a beautiful person, dynamic energy, and motivated beyond words. I cannot begin to tell you. She's a CBD coach and life and wellness coach, and she is really motivating people to do and be better in every way. And that is what I love so much about the people that I really come into contact with. The ones that are always there elevating to the next level. So look, let's get back into our discussion. With everything that I said just a few minutes ago, I love to give you all keys. And I tell you, they're master keys. Because master keys are able to open every door and chamber to your heart and your mind. And master keys allow you to lock the chambers and the doors. So what does not need to take place or take root is not allowed in because you're the keeper of those keys. So with that being said, how do we maintain that motivation and that momentum through 2022? I always like to give you keys. So get your key ring, make sure you got them because I'm about to give you a set of keys at that. So the first thing is this, and if you don't have your notebooks, get your notebooks, pin mark this episode, come back, listen to it. Like I said, share, because that is the biggest thing that I tell you all here. The best thing you can do with people is share the information so we elevate the next man just like we're doing for ourselves. So here we go. Set a limit on your list of intentions. So the first key is this. Set a limit on your list of intentions. While thinking about our new goals or aspirations for the new year, it can be easy. It's not easy, but let me just say it can be easy to list 6 or 7 different things that you'd like change. And all of us are guilty of this. We may have a list that's as long as our arms. And, I'm 5'7.5", so my arm is pretty long. So we got to be careful with that. So, but setting too many goals actually can become overwhelming. Oh my goodness. In the in the Zoom room, one of the ladies says that she has set so many goals this year that she says she almost tired herself out. She says she after she read the list of things that she wanted to set, she said, "Really? How old do you really think you are and when do you think you can do all this?" So this is a key element. This first key, pay attention to it. So, making too many goals, like I said, can overwhelm us. And by far it can even make you not achieve any of your goals. It's true. So let me ask, how many times have you all gone out and said, you know what, I'm going to start um, eating healthy. I'm going to start running every day, or I'm going to start exercising every day. I'm going to start drinking water every day. I'm going to start. And then all of a sudden you find yourself like blazing out. Well, let me tell you something. I want you to try something different. I want you to set 3 realistic goals for yourself first. See, because remember, I told you that we want to be able to measure and really have that opportunity of the win. See, because as people, we need to be able to win so we can hold on and keep the momentum of our goals and why we want to be successful and driven for 2022. So every day is a different day for us to achieve those goals. And don't forget, now you know, I am always about celebrating your wins, but celebrating the micro wins. Stop looking at the big picture. Give yourself an opportunity to have a micro win because that is going to be something dynamic for you to do and to have in your day to day. And I also want you all to realize that, you know, the first key is an important key because so many times we are so trying to make sure that we are setting things, that we're achieving things, that we're going and we're doing and you see how that sounds? It sounds exhausting, doesn't it? It sounds overwhelming. And that's the same thing that happens here, and it overwhelms you, and you don't get to keep into those goals and to maintain and to win those goals. So that's your first key. Set a limit on your list of intentions. So the second key is this: get yourself a scheduling app. Now, listen, I am not a part of any kind of scheduling company or apps. I don't promote apps. I'm not that person. So I'm not telling you this because I'm going to be promoting an app. Okay. So don't think that's where we're going with this. But I know you all have so much on your plates, just like I have so much on my plate. Because, like I told you, I'm a business owner. I have a dynamic podcast. I'm doing dynamic things. I have the beautiful round table of intentions. You see on the screen, Shifting Mindsets. It's my brand new e-journal that's coming out in February. So it's a lot. So we are pushed and pulled in so many different directions. If you're a mom, you got your kids' schedules, you got your children's dinner, you have your house to clean, you have to take care of your husband, you got things that you got to do to make sure you're safe, that you're not getting sick with COVID or the Omicron and everything else, the variants. Who knows? They're, whatever the names of these new variants that are coming. But we still got all this on our plate. So this is the thing. Scheduling apps actually can be very, very crucial for you because one thing we always have with us are our phones. Our telephones are like our lifeline nowadays. It's like a little bit of everything. We just take our phones everywhere. Matter of fact, if you could see my studio right now, like I have you all on this here, I have another screen over here that has my Zoom on it. I have another screen over here that has another element, and then my phone is set up on the other side. See, we're all pushed. But when we have these little things that help us to stay kind of focused and not pulling us off of our agenda, we're able to stay motivated. So, one thing I have to tell you all, and I always like to talk to you all in real person about what I am doing that maybe can benefit you, and you all always talk to me the same way, which I so appreciate. So, one thing I know for a fact is that I have my scheduling app, and my app is dynamic because what allows me to do is to really see what is in front of me. So, just a clear example of today, I've had different interviews I've had to do. I've had consultations that I've had to hold. I had a business meeting earlier. I have my recording here for you all. I have my show at 3 o'clock that's live over on Blog Talk Radio, where we are pouring in and doing dynamic things, having our cocktails and our mocktails over there. But I'm able to keep track of everything and move kind of really with an ease because my app of my schedule is right in front of me. And so I really want you all to realize that sometimes when you know your schedule and you have your schedule, it's easier for you to put it on your phone and to be able to tap into it so you're not wasting time. See, what we don't realize is time is the most precious thing that we have. And see, when we're trying to stay motivated through 2022, we're going to be pressed in many ways. We're going to be pushed in many ways. But we have to hold on to our time. Let's get into the third key. Log your ups and downs in a journal. Now, listen, all of my clients know that I push journaling. I almost push journaling like as if it's like the new drug of 2022, 21, 20, 19. It's just like what I do. But I'm going to tell you something. This is something very important to me because why I say to people to journal your ups and your downs, because what people mostly do, they remember the down, but they never remember the up, the great celebration that they should have had. You accomplished this thing because we're always moving to the next, going to the next. But see, when we journal, it allows us to make changes in the way that we're going, how we're presenting, or what we're not presenting. See, it's like our own accountability tool. And it even allows us to be able to micro see things that we need to draw our attention to. See, people think that journaling is just a dumping ground. And that's not what journaling is meant for. Journaling is to allow you to express yourself in a way that helps you to grow. It allows you to access and tap into a deeper quality of you. And so many times when therapists or different ones tell you to journal, they never tell you the why. And I told you, I'm a person that I feel that everyone should know the why. Because when we know why, it allows us to keep up and do and be better for ourselves. So you have now 3 keys on that keychain. Now let's go to the fourth one. This is a big one, and it's important to me because as a therapist, a counselor, I am one that really is about this. And pay attention, please. You got to look after your mind. You must look after your mind. You may not think about it, but your mind needs you. And our brains are susceptible to a range of distractions, anxieties, pressures. We give it peer pressure, but all of which can affect our motivation and our clarity. And see, what you all don't realize is this: when I say take care of your mind, you also need to be hydrating properly for your brain to focus correctly and work right. See, because our brains cannot retain water. So when you're dehydrated, and so many times you may feel like you're so angst and you're so nervous and I just can't and you have that feeling, it's because your brain is needing the hydration. Your brain is needing proper nutrients because you've skipped 3 meals and you think that that little bag of peanuts are going to get you through. And you're doing all these dynamic things out here. You just got off the stage from a speaking engagement, or maybe you just ran a whole marathon trying to get the house clean and trying to take care of the school needs because your child is homeschooled, or maybe that you got to run to the market. Then you got, oh no, I forgot my mask. I got to go back to the car. Needs to be nurtured. See, this is an element that gets overlooked all the time. And I don't want you all to overlook it because you need your mind and you need yourself to be whole. And this is an important key. So your fourth key is to look after your mind. And so many times when I have these discussions, I hear people say to me that they don't even think of it. And another way that you protect your mind is by being mindful and having mindfulness, which involves practicing being present, noticing important things, tapping into what we are feeling, tapping into how we are. Thank you for joining me, Grounding Wowzers. Great to have you here with us. It's important for us to always be present. And so when we're doing that and we're developing our minds and we're tapping into these things to keep ourselves motivated in this new year, these are key elements that help us to be this way, help us to be dynamic energy. And that's what my purpose is. I want to be dynamic in the place that I'm supposed to stand, the space that I'm supposed to hold. We all want that. We're going to be motivated. 2022. Here we come. So your fifth and final key is this. Remember that things won't always be easy. I know it seems so like, but it's true. So many people forget this because you know what? As humans, our nature is that we want the win because that's innate in us. But to get the win, think about a great athlete. For them to be able to have that win, they have to put painstaking time. They have to put painstaking effort. They must train. They must have the nutrition. They must have the mindset. They must be focused. But they also realize that even though they have all of that, you still can lose. Because that's how life is. We can set ourselves up for greatness and we can know that we're going to achieve it. We got these dynamic things we're doing, but guess what? Something in the way, a monkey wrench gets thrown, and well, that's it. So we start over again. But you have to be mindful that this is what happens. This is why we call this thing life. And if you're not going to be present and living in life and reality, you're not going to stay motivated. Because every time that wind and that storm comes up against you and it blows you over, doesn't say that you fell over, it just blew you over a little bit. You're not going to be able to bounce back and get back up on there and have your focus and have your wins that you need. So don't go into life and into every day thinking that, oh, okay, well, everything's going to be peachy. No, it's not. That'll be just kind of setting yourself up for failure. And then definitely you will lose your momentum. And see, that is the thing that I want you all to realize, that we have a purpose and a drive. But see, when I give you these keys, it's an element for you to come back and tap into so it can keep you going. That's why I tell you, I think it's always so important for us to have master keys. Because when we are giving real elements that can help and that are ascertainable, it's a difference. So many times we go into different spaces and we have dynamic speakers, but they don't leave us with the true key of how to keep this going or how we really tap into it. Where's it a benefit? How is it a benefit? It's not. So we're dealing with things that we're not even accustomed to, we're not even used to, or not even aware of, or anything. And so then literally we're just kind of this shell of a person. Wow. So listen, over here in the Zoom room, they're saying that, it's been so many times that they felt that they was going to achieve something, but even their own mind seemed to self-sabotage them. Well, let me tell you something. There is a possibility. If you're sabotaging yourself, don't worry. I have a whole discussion coming up on that, because I want to help you to pivot out of that. Because see, that mindset is devastating. And don't worry, because this is the thing. You are going to harness the power of self-talk. Because these self-sabotagers, they have dynamic negative self-talk. Dynamic. So to keep you motivated, I want you to go back and listen to that episode on the power of self-talk, because you have to first harness that. You have to believe it. You have to feel it. You have to know it, so it nurtures every element of the hurt that you have inflicted. Because see, that's the thing. We have to be honest when we are inflicting these ouches and in ourselves. Because when we finally become accountable for us, Lord, the dynamics that you will have is powerful. So listen, I could go on forever with you all. Welcome back to Whispers in a Bottle, Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays. My goodness, you guys, I am so charged up for this season. I have so many surprises in place for you all. And fellas, I heard you. We had a great discussion over this hiatus. It was so awesome. Let me tell you guys, Whisperers, our men, woo, they coming. They're coming. They're going to be on this platform. They're going to be on the stage with me. We're about to have a great discussion. We're doing some dynamic things this season. I'm launching some great things. We're going to even have our own virtual mixer, because look, you guys are all over the place. I love it. And thank you. I loved all my cards and, my biscuits that came from England. Thank you so much. I just appreciate you all so much for welcoming in to your safe zone, for allowing me, Sonia Lorray, to connect on such a deep personal level and to bring my message to you all. Because you realize that every time you allow me to do this, it gives me that energy and that momentum to keep growing, to keep developing things, because that is what this discussion is about. So I appreciate you all beyond words. I don't even think you all realize how much I really appreciate you. So listen, I like to make sure that we're connected a little bit of everywhere. So I'm going to put my Instagram page up on the screen. And please make sure you go follow because I love to interact with you all. I love being in touch with you. I love to talk to you all. I love being with you all, period. So go over to Instagram. It's whispers in a bottle underscore podcast. So whispers in a bottle underscore podcast. Follow me there. I definitely follow you back. Trust me, I'm not that kind of person. Then come over to the Facebook group. Make sure you're following the Facebook group because listen, this season, we're launching something only in there for you all. And it's going to be exciting because it's something new. I haven't done it before, but I think you all are going to enjoy it. And so we're on Facebook and it's Whisper, no S, because another site, another name has it. So just Whisper in a bottle. Make sure you guys put it in correctly because if you don't, you won't find me. So it's Whisper in a bottle. Then come over to Twitter and it's capital WHISPERS, capital BOTTLE. Put it in exactly like I spelled it to you. So it's Whispers Bottle on Twitter. Let's really support each other. I want us to support each other. I want us to be there for each other. And that's what I'm about. I'm about celebrating each other because all these opportunities that we have, if we're not tapping into each other, what good is it? Really, what good is it? And listen, if you want to become a sponsor of our show, or you would have a dynamic product that you would love for our whisperers to really be able to take part of or get or whatever, please email us at info@whispersinabottlepodcast.com. Info@whispersinabottlepodcast.com. Or just simply go over to our Instagram page and DM us. That's the easiest way. That's what I always tell people. Just DM us. Get in touch with us. We're it's not like rocket science. You want to get in touch? Be in touch. So listen, I am so excited to be back here for season 3. It's a great opportunity for all of us to always be able to tap in with each other, to pour into each other. If you want to come over at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at blogtalkradio.com, Whispers in a Bottle, that's where we have our cocktails and our mocktails over there, honey. We have a good time in there. We have the discussion. We bring different elements. Hey, and I got a special guest that's going to be at the end of the show. So come over there. I'm telling you, it's going to be good. So it's going to be dynamic. So listen, you are listening to Whispers in a Bottle, Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays. My name is Sonia LeRae. I'm a lifestyle relationship counselor, fashion psychologist, educator, motivational speaker, and I'm honored to be back here in our safe zone. I hope you all are safe. I hope you all stay healthy, tap into your loved ones, make sure that you come back, listen to it, get your keys so you can stay motivated and be dynamic through 2022. And look, I look forward to all of us connecting on all of our social platforms. Crown Jewel, thank you for being here. It's great for you and everyone else to be here. I just love you guys. And look, see you next week right here in this space. Come over to Blog Talk Radio. All right, guys, have a good one.